An 11-year-old strolled into Judge Caprio's courtroom acting like he was at recess. "Can we go? This is boring," he muttered. His mother gently touched his shoulder, trying to get him to stop. Judge Frank Caprio glanced up from his docket. "Young man, I'm speaking to your mother," he said calmly. The boy just shrugged, pulled out his phone, and began scrolling. Before we see what happens when a child openly disrespects a judge on camera, let us know where you're watching from and subscribe to Order in the Court. Today's story has an important lesson for every parent. It was 2:30 p.m. on Wednesday when court clerk Miss Bell called the case. Case 2025 PK 1184, City of Providence versus Lisa Johnson. The charges? 3 unpaid parking tickets and an expired vehicle registration. Lisa Johnson stepped forward. She was 32, her eyes showing tiredness, and her work scrubs peeked out from under her jacket. She carried a folder packed with receipts and notices. Her son Jaden followed right behind her, 11 years old, wearing brand new sneakers, a designer hoodie, and, of course, his phone in hand. Miss Bell read the charges one by one. Citation 1, Westminster Street, October 3rd. Citation 2, Downtown Providence, October 9th. Citation 3, Hope Street, October 17th. Total fines, $450. On top of that, the vehicle registration was 90 days past due, adding a $120 penalty. Judge Caprio looked at Lisa. "Miss Johnson, how do you plead?" "Guilty, Your Honor," she admitted. "I know the registration is late. I've been trying to." Before she could finish, Jaden jumped in. "Dad would have just paid it already," he said. The courtroom went silent. Judge Caprio's eyes shifted to the boy. "Excuse me." Jaden didn't even look up from his phone. "I said my dad would have paid it. He doesn't let stuff like this pile up." The boy replied. The courtroom had already witnessed the first act of disrespect before even discussing the fines. Judge Caprio set down his pen. "Young man, what's your name?" "Jaden." "I'm speaking to your mother. You'll have a chance to talk when I ask you to," Judge Caprio said firmly. "Whatever," Jaden muttered under his breath. Lisa Johnson's voice wavered. "Jaden, please," she said quietly, trying to calm him. Judge Caprio turned his attention back to her. "Miss Johnson, tell me what happened." She took a deep breath. "Your Honor, I work as a CNA at Providence General. Most weeks I do double shifts. My car failed inspection in July, and the repair estimate was $800. I had to decide between fixing it or keeping up with the registration. I chose the registration. I made the wrong choice." "You chose to keep working?" the judge asked. "Yes, sir. I need the car to get to the hospital. The bus doesn't run early enough for my shift. And the parking tickets? I parked on the street near the hospital. I didn't realize those spots had meters after 6 p.m. I thought night parking was free," Jaden muttered from his seat. Because she never reads signs, the gallery shifted uncomfortably. Judge Caprio's voice dropped firmly. "Jaden, you will not speak to your mother that way in this courtroom. Do you understand?" Jaden glanced up briefly. "I'm just saying what's true," he said. "You're being disrespectful." "That stops now," Judge Caprio replied. Jaden went back to scrolling on his phone. The judge made a note and returned his attention to Lisa. "Miss Johnson, is Jaden's father involved?" Lisa's voice tightened. "Not financially, Your Honor. He's 6 months behind on child support, $4, $800. "Does he see Jaden?" the judge asked. "Every other weekend, if he shows up," Lisa replied. "And when he does see him, what does he say about you?" Judge Caprio asked gently. Lisa hesitated. "Your Honor, I don't want to answer that." Before she could continue, Jaden spoke again. "He says Mom only comes to court because she likes drama. He says she could afford things if she managed money better." The judge paused, listening. "Someone at home is teaching him to value money over character," he murmured thoughtfully. Judge Caprio turned his gaze to Jaden. "And you believe him?" "He's not wrong," Jaden said. "Mom's always broke. Dad buys me stuff, new shoes, this phone, my PlayStation. He takes care of me." "Does he pay your mother child support?" the judge asked. "He says he doesn't have to. Says Mom can't make him," Jaden replied. Judge Caprio calmly wrote something down. His pen moved slowly across the paper, his face composed. Then Jaden's phone buzzed loudly. The ringtone echoed through the courtroom. Jaden glanced at the screen. "That's Dad. I have to take this." "You will not answer that phone," Judge Caprio said sharply. Ignoring him, Jaden swiped to answer. "Yeah, Dad. We're in court. Mom's acting like she can't afford tickets again." Lisa Johnson reached for the phone. "Jaden, hang up," she whispered. "End that call and hand the phone to Officer Rodriguez," Judge Caprio commanded. Jaden pulled the phone away from his mother. "You can't take my phone. My dad's going to sue. He said judges can't take private property." Officer Rodriguez stepped forward calmly. "Collect the device," he said. Jaden held the phone behind his back. "Please don't do this," Lisa whispered. Judge Caprio's voice dropped, quiet but firm. "Jaden, you have two choices. You can hand Officer Rodriguez the phone, or you can be removed from this courtroom, and your mother will continue without you. Which do you prefer?" Jaden looked around, at his mother, at the bailiff, at the judge. After a tense moment, he finally handed over the phone. Officer Rodriguez took it, powered it off, and placed it carefully on the clerk's table. Judge Caprio looked at Jaden, then scanned the courtroom, then back at the boy. 5 seconds. 7, 10, 12. That was how long it took an 11-year-old to realize this was not his father's weekend. Judge Caprio folded his hands. "Jaden, sit in the gallery. Do not speak unless I ask you a question. Do you understand?" Jaden's voice barely carried. "Yes, yes." "What?" "Yes, Your Honor," he corrected quickly. "Go," the judge said. Jaden walked to the back row, sat down, and stared at his hands, quiet and subdued. Judge Caprio turned to Lisa Johnson. "Miss Johnson, I apologize. You came here to deal with citations, not to be embarrassed by your child." Lisa wiped her eyes. "Your Honor, he's been like this ever since his father started interfering." "I understand, and we'll address that," the judge said gently. "But first, let's focus on you." He opened the file and reviewed the details, the dates, the amounts, and notes from the ticketing officer. "Officer Kelly is here," he said. That a uniformed officer stepped forward, mid-40s, calm and professional. "Officer Kelly, you issued all 3 citations to Miss Johnson's vehicle. Can you explain the circumstances?" "Yes, Your Honor. The vehicle was parked legally each time. No fire hydrants, no crosswalks, but the meters had expired. The first 2 were downtown near the hospital. The third was on Hope Street near a pharmacy." "Did you see who was driving?" "No, sir. I only saw the vehicle." "Did the car look abandoned or neglected?" "No, Your Honor. It was clean. The inspection sticker was current at the time. Nothing suggested it was abandoned." Judge Caprio looked back at Lisa. "So, this was a working mother parking near her job and forgetting to feed a meter?" "It appears so," Officer Kelly confirmed. Judge Caprio nodded thoughtfully. "Thank you, officer," Judge Caprio said, turning back to Lisa Johnson. "Miss Johnson, you came to court. You didn't ignore these tickets. You didn't make excuses. You told the truth. That matters." "Thank you, Your Honor," Lisa whispered, relieved. "Here's what I'm going to do," Judge Caprio continued. "Your total fines are $570. I'm reducing that to $50. You'll have 90 days to pay." Lisa's voice broke. "Your Honor, I can't thank you enough. I will not punish a working mother for choosing rent over registration. You keep people alive at that hospital. The least this city can do is give you room to breathe." "Thank you," she added, tears in her eyes. "Thank you so much." But Judge Caprio wasn't finished. "I will address your son," he said. The courtroom went quiet. He looked toward the back row. "Jaden, stand up and come here." Jaden rose slowly and walked to the podium, standing next to his mother. "Jaden, do you know why you're in this courtroom today?" the judge asked. "Because Mom got tickets," the boy muttered. "No," Judge Caprio said firmly. "You're here because your mother is trying to survive, and you just made it harder for her." Jaden looked down. "You are 11 years old when it's time to obey, but 21 when it's time to insult. It can't be both." The courtroom was silent. "Your father is 6 months behind on child support, $4, $800. That's money your mother needs to pay for food, rent, and the car that gets her to work. But your father is buying you sneakers, phones, and game consoles. Do you know what that's called? No, Your Honor, Jaden whispered. Performance. The judge said. Your father is performing. Your mother is working. And you can't tell the difference. Jaden's lip trembled. Your mother is the one who feeds you every day, drives you to school, works double shifts, so you have a roof over your head. And you just told this entire courtroom she's broke. Like it's her fault, like she's failing you. That ends today. I didn't mean. Jaden started. You did mean it. Judge Caprio interrupted gently. Because someone taught you to think that way. And that stops today. Courtrooms correct what living rooms sometimes ignore. The judge pulled out a form. Jaden Johnson, you are hereby ordered to complete 30 hours of community service at the Providence Senior Day Center. You will report every Saturday at 9 a.m. and work until noon for 10 weeks. You will sign in, sign out, and submit a completion log to this court. Jaden's eyes went wide. You can't do that. I have basketball. Then you'll learn to respect the person who pays for your basketball. Judge Caprio replied. This is not punishment for poverty, Jaden. This is correction for disrespect. You treated your mother like she was worthless in front of strangers. Now you'll spend 10 weeks serving people who can't serve themselves. Maybe you'll understand what sacrifice looks like. Lisa Johnson spoke quietly. Your Honor, he's only 11. Miss Johnson, with respect, that's the problem, the judge said. At 11, he's already learned to disrespect the woman who raised him. If we don't correct it now, at 21, he'll be just like his father, and I won't let that happen. He looked at Jaden. Stand next to your mother. Look at her. Jaden turned and looked at his mother. Her eyes were red, her hands trembling. Say what you did. Judge Caprio instructed. Jaden's voice was barely audible. I said she was broke. Louder, the judge encouraged. I said she was broke. I said Dad was better. I answered the phone. I embarrassed her. Now tell the truth. Judge Caprio said firmly that Jaden's voice cracked. She's the one paying. She's tired. I made it worse. Lisa Johnson started crying. Judge Caprio nodded toward her. You may hug her. Jaden wrapped his arms around his mother. She held him tight. The courtroom was completely silent, the lesson sinking in. If you believe kids should learn respect early, not at 25, subscribe to Order in the Court so more families can see this. Judge Caprio said. He paused, letting the moment sink in. Then he continued. Miss Johnson, you may sit. Jaden, stay standing. Lisa sat. Jaden remained at the podium alone. Judge Caprio looked at the file, then toward the back of the courtroom as if speaking to someone not present. This next part is for the record, he said, to the non-custodial parent listening to this case secondhand. You are 6 months behind on child support, yet you are overpresent in this child's attitude. You've taught him that money equals love, that gifts equal parenting, and that the woman who sacrifices every day is somehow less than the man who shows up twice a month with a shopping bag. He paused. Money without morals creates exactly what we saw today. A boy who thinks disrespect is acceptable as long as someone buys him sneakers. That stops now, because influence is custody too. And your influence just cost your son 10 Saturdays. The courtroom murmured an agreement. Judge Caprio